Doctor, thank you for joining us tonight on Yadda Yadda. I will tone it down now because I know it's after 9 o'clock. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And Shelby Johnson is here on the couch. Shelby Johnson, independent wine consultant with the Traveling Vineyard. I missed you last week.
I hope so. I was relying on that. I missed you too.
Oh, you missed. We had an audiologist.
Shades on the eyes.
I know we had the shades on the eyes. We had the Mardi Gras masks. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we had Jennifer Laborde, Dr. Jennifer Laborde, who is an audiologist, and she came on, and she was talking about hearing loss and hearing prevention, or not hearing prevention,
hearing
loss and prevention of hearing loss.
Right.
And it was very interesting, and I'm hoping that we can, if you're interested in hearing more about Dr. Jennifer Laborde, that you can give her a call, because if you find you're cranking that TV up a little bit louder than you should, maybe it's time to give her a call and check it out. So, isn't that right?
Yelling at everybody in the house.
Is that what?
Yeah, we do that.
That happens a lot. You need to give her a call. So, Shelby, what wine did you bring us tonight?
Oh, bought you a red Zinfandel.
Ooh.
Yes, one of my favorites. Red Zinfandel, it's kind of off the charts a little bit, you know, so everybody knows kind of the
Now, what do you mean off the charts a little bit?
Well, people that like it really love it, but it's one of those wines that it's not in the mainstream. So, when people ask for it, they usually are a lover of red Zin already, which is nice about the sort of thing that I do, because I can bring it to a tasting, and people have never experienced it before or never, tried it, can try it. It's a very robust wine. This is a 2005 Tria, and I think you've had some of our Trios before.
Yes, they're very good. I like them.
The winemaker is Philip Zorn, and he's a seasoned wine. Look at my notes. They're not like yours. They're in pencil.
Her notes are in pencil. I'm telling.
Hey, it works. It works. But he is a wine veteran who's committed to producing high-end Zins. They're produced from some of the oldest vines in the Lodi County regions out in California. And this, if you smell this wine, I mean, it's like smelling chocolate.
It smells so good, but it's like chocolate with
blackberries.
Fruit, with blackberries. Or
very well. It talks about black cherries, raspberries, so with hints of earth and spice. So you get a little complexity in there. You smell a little bit of spice.
I smell a little bit of spice.
Imagine this with chocolate. Oh gosh.
But you said this is for grilled stuff too.
Well, this goes fabulously with grilled stuff, because it does have a little bit of almost like a charred edge to it as well, a little smoky charred edge.
Yeah, I can sense that.
And the fruit will balance off, like if you're doing chicken, beef, even roasted vegetables out on the grill. This is going to be the perfect accompaniment for that. It really does well.
It is really nice.
Isn't that nice?
I remember that I've heard of white Zinfandels before, and that's totally different from
different animal.
Different animal.
Yes.
Now you're kind of holding your nose up at that.
No.
Did I say something wrong? Is that the wrong word?
No, very
You're not
popular
supposed to say
wine.
white Zinfandel. Is that a bad thing?
Puts me in a spot all the time. No, great wine. A lot of people like it, but that is more of a sweet wine, and that's actually a wine that a lot of people that are beginning to taste wines will go to. It's sort of what we refer to as a beginner palate wine.
Oh, okay.
And some people start it, like it, and stay with it. That's fine. But it's an easy tasting wine because of the sweetness.
Oh, okay.
But this is a totally different animal. This is a
more
true red,
mature flavor,
palate.
The mature palate. We'll go with that.
Well, and a lot of people are surprised that they like this wine, because when I do tastings, a lot of times I'll suggest the hostess very good accompaniments for this, good pairings.
Yeah.
And then when they taste it with that food, they're like, oh, that really changes the taste. That's good.
Well, that's what's so great about, when you do these tastings in the home, you actually tell people, about the pairings and what will really bring out the flavors in the wine and complement the food, so that it really does create a great combination. And
and it really makes the difference. There are some wines, like I've said to you before, that really call for food,
right.
and are at their best when you're pairing food with them. But chocolate is always a divine pairing for red wine.
Absolutely.
Which brings me to
what is this?
monstrosity.
It's the Valentine Extravaganza gift box.
Isn't that cute?
I know everyone's been wondering about this, Shelby. Tell us about this.
A bunch of my hostesses from January 10th to February 10th are in drawing for this little gift box, and it's got a lot of fun stuff in here. We have our Calista champagne, 2 glasses, all kinds of fun stuff. We've got chocolates, we've got little wine computers in here that tell you from Wine Enthusiast magazine. We've got openers and coolers. And
so how does someone get one of these?
Well, I actually have 2 dates left in February before this is up because I've been very busy in January. But it's before February 10th. If anybody wants to book a tasting with me before that date, and I have it available, then you'll be in the drawing for this.
How nice! So that would be a hostess gift. They're in the drawing for the hostess gift.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
That's the main sort of incentive gift for January and February, or part of February. And then also in February, Valentine's, we're going to, just because we can, we're going to take Valentine's past the 14th.
Oh!
And we're going to do chocolate and red wine tastings.
Very nice.
All through February. You can have a regular tasting if you want, but we're going to offer those and make suggestions to the hostesses of great different chocolates. I'll be bringing red wines and dessert wines to pair beautifully with all those different. There's a lot of different chocolates.
Well, I celebrate my birthday for the whole month of May, so you might as well celebrate Valentine's Day for the whole month
That's
of
what
February.
I say. We've all got chocolate. You know, everybody buys too much.
You know, you never can have too much chocolate. So anyway, that sounds like a great plan. Now, you have something happening on the 31st as well, don't you?
I do. This Sunday. It's a taste of the business, which is a full presentation of our business and what I do. If anybody is interested, we have quite a few people coming already. I have a few seats left. I'm doing it in my home, so we're limited on seating. But if anybody is interested in coming and seeing presentation and watching how a tasting's done and just getting a full scope of what I do for a living, then they're welcome to come. It's
you must have
Sunday.
the funnest job in the world. That's all I can say. I mean, wine, chocolate, you know, and tastings, and
there'll be wine there, and there'll be food and pairings, and me and my team, and we'll just show you what it's all about.
Are they all as fun as you, though? I mean, do you have to be as fun as Shelby?
It's a prerequisite. Just as crazy. Just as crazy. It's right in the notes.
Okay, now you have to flash everyone. I've been waiting for this.
Honey, there's a shirt underneath. Look how cute.
I don't know if you can all read that, but it says wines constantly.
Isn't that cute? See, this is my uniform. Things like this. You know?
Okay, that's enough, Shelby.
She made me do that.
Anyway, I'm so glad you came back this week. That was so much fun.
Thank you. Yes, I missed you, honey.
We want everyone to sign up for parties at their homes so they can have an opportunity to win this fabulous gift box extravaganza.
Yes, we couldn't come up with a name. It wasn't a basket. It's a gift box Valentine thing.
It is extraordinaire, fabulous.
It also, by the way, has dinner for 2 at the Bonefish in there.
Dinner for 2 at the Bonefish as well. You've got to sign up. Absolutely. Okay, well, listen, we're going to take a break here from our fabulous sponsors and stay with us. We'll be right back with more Yadda Yadda.
As women and moms, our families are what's most important to us, and we work hard during our lives to make sure that they are cared and provided for. Hi, my name is Kristen Marks, but you can call me My Pink Lawyer. I work with women just like you to help you plan so that if something happens to you, your family is protected and your kids are raised by the people that you choose.
Order your free guardian and planning reports at mypinklawyer.com today. My Pink Lawyer, protecting what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome back to Yadda Yadda. And last week, I was wearing this thing, but this week I'm not. And, it was just about a week and a half ago that I actually had my eyelids done, my lower eyelids done. And people are like, I can't believe you just had that done, but I did. And I'm loving it. I still have a little bit of bruising. I still have a little bit of swelling, but I can just feel that the years are melting away. So anyway, Dr. Jocelyn Levesque, she is she's my team member for my personal maintenance plan. But right now we have Kristen Marks with us, and she is an attorney here in Pensacola, my pink lawyer. And I'm so glad that you could join us this evening.
Thanks for having me, Cynthia.
Absolutely. Now you specialize in estate planning and family matters for women and families.
Correct.
And that is so needed.
It is.
And we don't even think about it, and we need this.
It is. I work especially with a lot of younger women and younger families that still have young kids still in the home, and unfortunately 2/3 of all women with kids still in the house haven't even named a guardian for their kids.
I read that. I went to your website, and you have a couple of free reports that you offer people, which are very helpful. And I started reading them, and especially the one about the guardianship, and it brought up all these questions. I was like, oh my God, women don't think about these things. They really should.
Well, I think we all think that nothing's ever going to happen to us, right? We're young, relatively healthy, and our kids are young, and we're invincible. But you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And if we don't proactively make some decisions now, then a court, a judge that doesn't know us or our family situation is going to be making these critical decisions about who would raise your kids, who would handle your finances for the kids.
Right.
And guess what? At 18, they're legal adults, and they get to inherit everything outright. And that's usually not what we as parents want.
We want
for
them
our
to
kids.
be 45 before they get anything.
My mom said that I was not allowed to have kids before I was 30. So when I was 29, she had a fit.
Oh, goodness. Now, how long have you been practicing law?
I have been practicing since '95. That's when my husband and I graduated from law school.
And he's an attorney as well.
He is. We met at University of Alabama School of Law, Roll Tide.
Aww.
Very excited about the big win. And so we've been practicing here since '95, and I started off with a small law firm downtown for the first 7 years of my practice.
Right.
And then I've had my pink lawyer practice for about 1.5 years now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you're touching on some things that are very important to women, and if they're not, they should be. Especially, going back to this free guardian report that you put out that is on your website. In it you do state that one of these shocking statistics that 2/3 of all moms haven't named a legal guardian for their kids. And I'm lucky in that my kids are old now. They're not really kids anymore, but there are some very important things that you should really think about in that process of selecting a guardian for your children.
There are.
And it's not only important that you identify who would be a good guardian, but you should also identify who you absolutely do not want your children to be raised by.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh my God, you just don't think about that part of it, but you really should.
Right. Well, and not everybody has that situation where there's someone in their life who they think might step up to the plate, but they know absolutely they would never in a million years want raising their kids.
Right.
But there are families where that is the case.
Right.
And if that is the case, and I always explore that with my clients, then there are certain things that we can do to help prevent that person from throwing their hat into the ring to raise your kids if it comes to that.
Right. Now, tell me about if someone wants to explore more of this with you, what do they need to do?
I recommend that if they have internet access, go visit my website first. That's mypinklawyer.com, and I have 2 free reports that you can request. The free guardianship guide. I've revamped it. It looks prettier
it does
than
look
what I
very
emailed
pretty.
you.
It's very pretty.
Thank you, Chloe Tyner, my graphic designer. She's awesome. And also an estate and legacy planning guide as well. And after reading those, if you decide you like what you read about me, then either email me or call my office to schedule a free consultation. And from there, we'll
Kind of put together a plan.
You'll come in, you'll meet me, we'll find out what your current situation is, because whether you know it or not, everybody has an estate plan. Even if you don't have anything in writing, the law sets out default rules for you.
Really?
So we'll find out what your current plan is, find out where your current exposure is and what you want to see happen, and then explore your options on putting together a plan in place. And if you want to move forward right then and there, we can do that. And if you need to go home and think about it, that's okay too.
Now, you have 2 kids yourself.
I do.
And, you know, I mean, at what point did you decide that this wanted to be the focus of your practice, that you wanted to work with women and their families and these types of issues?
Well, when I got out of law school, that's kind of how it fell into place at the firm that I was working with, and I really loved that area of the law. When I came back into my own practice, however, I had taken about a 5-year stint working exclusively with women to help them build financial success through their own businesses, and I decided to bring those skills back into this practice and really focus my practice in on women and that underserved market of estate planning with younger women, because most people don't start thinking about estate planning until they hit retirement age.
So how young is too young? I mean, if someone is in college, so they call you?
Yeah.
If someone is in, you know...
Usually it's not the college age kids, if you will, excuse me, but I call, you know, hey, I'm a lot older than that, so I can call them kids.
No, you're not. You're a kid. You're a kid. I can tell.
But they're usually not the ones calling me, but it's their parents.
Their parents.
Saying, hey, you know, I've got these college-age kids. Do they need to be doing anything? And yes, they should. They should have, at a minimum, a durable power of attorney, naming their parents or someone else as their agents, and medical surrogates.
And what
for
about living
themselves.
wills? Do
And
they
living wills. All of that. They're legal adults now. The parents don't automatically have the right to make those decisions for their kids
Oh my
anymore.
goodness, that is something that you just don't think about.
Right.
You know, I've got a 19-year-old daughter, and there are some things that need to be taken care of with her. That you know, as you know, I certainly have them taken care of for me. But as you said, you know, you don't know what could happen, and you should always prepare for those things so that people can be taken care of when they need to be. Very good. Now, I don't know if you've been following this, but in the you know, Pensacola has had just this explosion of women, of talented women who are stepping up and crashing glass ceilings and doing some really wonderful things. And you know, the most recent one is the new CEO at Sacred Heart Hospital, Laura Kaiser, and she's joining the ranks of you know, Dr. Judy Benz at UWF and Susan Story at Gulf Power, and you know, taking the helm of these large corporations and institutions that are so important to our community. So I hope that everyone out there embraces her and welcomes her to our community, because you know, this is all just this is wonderful energy for us, and I'm just so happy that you know, she's decided to come here and stay with us. So anyway, that's wonderful. So Kristen, if you had one thing that you wanted to tell young mothers that they needed to do, that they should call you for, what would that be?
You must name guardians for your kids if something happens to you, or you and your husband, or you and the children's father, whatever the case may be. It's absolutely critical. I mean, you hear stories all the time of accidents, and it's too late at that point.
Right.
You have to do planning in advance. And the other thing I would just recommend to people that a lot of people don't think about is, you know, your planning is not a one-time event. It should grow with you over time because your circumstances change.
Yes, and I know that you, in one of the pieces I was reading that you provided, it mentioned that there are so many women, when they go through a divorce, they don't go back and revisit their estate plan.
Right.
When they, you know, and you would think that they all would.
Right. And your estate plan is not just your written documents. It's a combination of a whole lot of things. Who your family members are, what your documents say, who your beneficiary designations are, how do you own property, jointly or in your individual name.
Right.
So there's all these components that fit together to make up what is your estate plan. And you need to make sure that it all fits together to accomplish your objectives.
Now, I mean, if you're married, should the wife have a separate estate plan?
typically, if it's a first marriage for both, then
Well, we're not there.
yeah, well, the couple will come to see me, and we'll do planning together.
Yeah.
And that still often happens with blended marriages.
Blended marriages.
As I say.
Hey.
But other times I will work with just women by themselves in a blended marriage because they do have unique needs.
Right.
They may have grown a business before they remarried,
Yes.
and they want to make sure that they protect that business and their assets for their kids.
Right.
And I see that quite often. So there's planning that we need to have in place to make sure that their family and their kids are the ones that ultimately benefit from all of their hard work, rather than perhaps stepkids,
Right.
you know, whatever the circumstances.
Well, you know, that brings to point, you know, that there are many reasons why a woman should call you or should call someone that can help them identify these needs and to make sure that everything is in place should something happen.
Right.
Well, thank you so much,
You
Kristen.
are welcome.
So glad you came to join us this evening on Yadda Yadda.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break here from our fabulous sponsors, and we'll be right back. And we're going to be talking about green hair. So stay with us.
As women and moms, our families are what's most important to us, and we work hard during our lives to make sure that they are cared and provided for. Hi, my name is Kristen Marks, but you can call me My Pink Lawyer. I work with women just like you to help you plan so that if something happens to you, your family is protected and your kids are raised by the people that you choose.
Order your free guardian and planning reports at mypinklawyer.com today. My Pink Lawyer, protecting what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome back to Yadda Yadda, and I have Mona Swasey here with me, and she is a stylist at Cutting Loose Salon, and no, she's not a naturalist. I was thinking, you know, she's a naturalist with natural. No, she's a colorist with natural. It gets so confusing. It's all about green hair. No, it's not green hair. Tell us about what it is that you do.
Well, I won't make your hair green.
Thank you. I've had that problem before. Okay, so let's talk about this. You know, you're at Cutting Loose Salon, and you specialize in natural hair color.
Right. It's ammonia free.
Ammonia free.
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference between that and regular hair color?
Just that there's no ammonia.
No ammonia.
It's made with high quality dyes, only organic pigment,
Uh-huh.
and it has blended with botanicals and fruit acids.
So it doesn't have that smell. It doesn't have that
Right.
bad hair color smell.
No, it
you
smells
know.
like cotton candy.
It smells like cotton candy.
It does. People are amazed by
that sounds
it.
great.
Yeah.
And you know, you can. It's not just the darker hair colors, but you also do the highlights with this.
That's the best part.
That sounds
Beautiful
wonderful.
highlights with no bleach.
With no bleach at all, so it
15
doesn't
minutes
damage
of
your
processing
hair.
time.
Only 15 minutes, and there's no toner involved.
Right. It's a one process, 15 minutes, and perfect every time. It's beautiful.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. Now, I mean, what made you decide to do this?
My husband and I opened a salon in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, near Portland, and we went to the Boston Hair Show to try to find our niche. He said he didn't want to have just a everyday hair salon. He wanted something different. and we found our niche before lunch.
Hey, and it was natural hair color products.
Yeah.
Now, what is the name of the product line that you use?
Well, it's by Farouk Systems.
Farouk Systems.
And the 100% gray coverage
100% gray coverage.
and no ammonia.
And no ammonia.
Damage.
No damage. Okay, we're wrapping up here. How can people find you?
Cut and Loose.
Cut and Loose Hair Salon. Give her a call, give Mona a call, and let her set you up with some beautiful hair using natural hair colors, no ammonia, smells like cotton candy, 100% gray coverage.
Very good.
We're gonna go now. Thank you so much for joining Yadda Yadda. It's not Yadda Yadda without you, and we hope to see you again next week. And we'll have you on again next week.